In Oscar Wilde's 1895 comedy The Importance of Being Earnest, Gwendolen Fairfax is one of the most memorable figures among the cast of witty and eccentric characters. As the daughter of the formidable Lady Bracknell and the cousin of Algernon Moncrieff, Gwendolen is both a figure of high society and a romantic heroine. She is the object of Jack Worthing's love and the counterpart to Cecily Cardew, Jack's ward. Though she may initially appear to be a conventional ingenue, Gwendolen is far from passive. Wilde uses her to satirize Victorian expectations of women, to parody romantic ideals, and to highlight the absurdities of love, names, and marriage. Role in the narrative. Gwendolen functions primarily as Jack Worthing's romantic interest. Jack, under the name Ernest, courts her in London and proposes marriage. Gwendolen accepts, but with a peculiar stipulation. She insists she could only ever love a man named Ernest. This comic obsession with names drives much of the plot's irony, since Jack is not truly named Ernest, at least not until the play's conclusion. Gwendolen also serves as a foil to Cecily. Their parallel romances with Ernest lead to one of the play's central comic scenes, the confrontation between the two women, who believe themselves engaged to the same man. Their quarrel over tea and cake, followed by their reconciliation when the men's deceptions are revealed, underscores Wilde's parody of romantic rivalry. Through Gwendolen's interactions with her mother, Lady Bracknell, Wilde also explores the tension between individual desire and social obligation. Lady Bracknell's insistence on Jack's proper lineage nearly prevents their marriage, highlighting the rigid class prejudices of Victorian society. By the end of the play, Jack's true identity as Ernest resolves these conflicts, allowing Gwendolen's marriage to proceed. Thus, Gwendolen's role in the narrative is multifaceted. She motivates Jack's deception, creates conflict through her insistence on the name, Ernest, and mirrors Cecily in a double plot structure that enhances the farce. Symbolic significance. Romantic idealism and the power of names. Gwendolen's fixation on the name Ernest symbolizes the absurdity of basing love on superficial markers. For her, the name represents truth, reliability, and romance, even though Jack is lying about it. This satirizes Victorian tendencies to attach significance to appearances, labels, and conventions rather than to substance. Wilde suggests through Gwendolen that love, like identity, may be shaped more by words and fantasies than by reality. Unlike traditional Victorian heroines who are portrayed as submissive, Gwendolen exhibits agency in her romantic pursuits. She openly expresses her love for Jack, and makes bold declarations about her marriage requirements. Symbolically, she represents Wilde's inversion of gender norms, placing women in positions of authority over their own desires. The conflict between romance and social convention. Gwendolen symbolizes the clash between personal affection and societal expectations. While she genuinely loves Jack, her mother views marriage as a business transaction grounded in class, wealth, and status. This tension dramatizes the play's central critique of Victorian marriage as an institution that stifled individuality and romantic freedom. At the same time, Gwendolen's preoccupation with trivialities such as names reveals her participation in the superficiality she critiques. She symbolizes Wilde's view that even love is entangled with vanity, fashion, and convention. Her character embodies both a critique of Victorian frivolity and a playful celebration of it. Broader implications. Gwendolen represents Wilde's parody of the Victorian ideal of womanhood. Unlike the passive angel in the house archetype, she is outspoken, witty, and assertive. Yet her independence is constrained by Lady Bracknell's authority, revealing the limited autonomy granted to women of her class. Wilde uses Gwendolen to critique these gendered constraints while simultaneously celebrating women's intelligence and willpower. Gwendolen's obsession with names highlights Wilde's exploration of language as a construct. She does not love Jack for his character but for his earnest identity, a linguistic fabrication. This demonstrates the instability of truth. Words can create realities as powerful as facts. Gwendolen illustrates Wilde's aesthetic philosophy that artifice and imagination are as real as truth, if not more compelling. Gwendolen's impending marriage to Jack becomes a battleground between romance and practicality. Lady Bracknell embodies the pragmatic, even mercenary, view of marriage, while Gwendolen insists on romantic choice. Wilde's comedy lies in showing that both views are equally absurd. Gwendolen's love is conditional upon a name, and Lady Bracknell's opposition hinges on Jack's missing parentage. Through Gwendolen, Wilde satirizes how marriage is simultaneously romanticized and commodified in Victorian society. Wilde often gives the sharpest lines in the play to women, and Gwendolen exemplifies this. Her quick repartee with Jack, Algernon, and especially Cecily demonstrates her verbal skill. In the tea scene with Cecily, she shifts from polite civility to subtle insults with comic elegance, before moving to reconciliation. This linguistic agility underscores Wilde's broader argument that women are not only equal, but often superior in wit and intelligence to men. A commentary on identity and modernity. Through Gwendolen, Wilde comments on the modern construction of identity. Her insistence on a name reflects how identity is socially constructed through symbols and language. Her character anticipates later discussions of identity as performative rather than innate, suggesting that love and social bonds are negotiated through conventions rather than through authentic essence. As a comic figure, Gwendolen delivers many of Wilde's sharpest paradoxes. Her insistence on marrying only in earnest is absurd, yet she delivers it with such seriousness that the audience laughs at both her intensity and the triviality of her demand. Her duel of manners with Cecily is one of the play's most famous scenes, demonstrating Wilde's skill in transforming social politeness into comedy. Gwendolen's humor lies in her ability to treat the trivial as severely as the trivial, a central theme of the play. Conclusion. Gwendolen Fairfax is one of Wilde's most compelling creations in the importance of being earnest. As Jack's beloved, Lady Bracknell's daughter, and Cecily's rival-turned-friend, she plays a crucial role in the play's farcical entanglements. Symbolically, she embodies Wilde's satire of Victorian superficiality, particularly in her fixation on names, while also representing a new model of womanhood. Assertive, witty, and independent. Her broader significance lies in her exposure of the absurdities of love, language, and marriage. Through Gwendolen, Wilde demonstrates how identity is constructed through words, how romance can be simultaneously passionate and ridiculous, and how women's wit challenges patriarchal authority. Gwendolen's mixture of frivolity and intelligence reflects Wilde's philosophy that life itself should be playful, paradoxical, and never taken entirely seriously.